Today I want to talk about the Sling 2, which is on my short list of the next plane I may build. So this is my short list for which plane I may build next if I decide to build another plane here in the next little bit. And the Sling 2 being at the top of the list just makes sense. I just finished building a Sling TSI and I'm very comfortable with Sling aircraft and how they do things. So this is the Sling 2. I think it's a very attractive little two-seater plane. It's a low wing, tricycle gear, slider canopy, powered by a Rotax engine. When they built and designed this plane, it was gross weight was 1,540 pounds. Now, of course, for the American market to hit the light sport gross weight of 1,320, you lose a couple hundred pounds of useful load. If you build experimental amateur-built kit, you, of course, can set the rating yourself, but 1,540 is what the aircraft was designed for. So you'll see in the specifications, 690 is the useful load. I think probably it's more like 650 if you actually put a lot of avionics in it and finish it out nice with nice paint job. Cruise speed 112, I think that's about average. If you're loaded pretty heavy, you might be just a little bit slower than that. Almost 40 gallons of fuel gives it huge range, over 800 nautical miles. I think I counted 162. This is page 1 of the FAA list of aircraft flying. So there are a lot of them in the U.S. This is the first plane that they built in South Africa when they were called the Airplane Factory. They changed their name later to Sling. It was called the Sling, the plane model, and they flew it around the world like days after they built the plane. They had legs of 18, 20, and 22 hours at a time. I think they had 24 hours of fuel on board the way they did some oversized fuel tanks. I'll link there. There's a story about them on this trip that's really a great video to watch. You can get the kit in 3 different ways. You can get it in what they call a flat pack, which is where you get 7 of these crates and you build it from basically sheet metal. Now, this is a quick build. Now, this is a Sling TSI. They didn't have a quick build Sling 2 that I could find a picture of. Or you can get a ready-to-fly aircraft, which is what they're selling to flight schools now. Their newest version is called the NGT, which is the next generation trainer. And it's being used at flight schools quite a bit now. So this is the Sling Pilot Academy in Torrance, California. And as you can see, there are Sling 2s everywhere. I think the Sling Pilot Academy has 65 in their fleet spread amongst, they have 2 or 3 different campuses in Southern California. But as you can see, they have quite a few of them, along with some other aircraft in their training fleet. They have some twins and tailwheel and some other aircraft so that you can work your way through the ratings with them as a training organization. There are 3 engine choices that you can use to power the Sling 2. The first one is the 100 horsepower 912 Rotax ULS, which is a carbureted engine. Then Sling also uses the 912 IS, which I think is probably the most popular engine choice by far. And it's a fuel injected 100 horsepower, really good fuel economy, 3.5 to 4 gallons an hour at cruise. Then you can also choose the Rotax 914, which is a turbocharged version of basically the 912 ULS. It's a carbureted engine, turbocharged, and it gives you 115 horsepower for 5 minutes. Then it's 100 horsepower continuous, and it takes that 100 horsepower all the way up to 16,000 feet. So you get about 12 knots extra cruise speed down low, and then of course it'll increase as you gain altitude. Most of the Sling 2s that I've seen are fairly loaded out with avionics. This is a representation of a panel from Midwest Panel Builders who has built hundreds of Sling panels from all the different models of Sling aircraft. Sling also has an in-house version, and that's what this is. And you can see it's a fairly loaded out, very attractive panel with all the bells and whistles. So this is the current price list for a Sling 2 flat build kit. It's divided up into 5 different sub kits that you can buy individually, or if you buy all 5 at the same time, they give you a little discount. But the total is pretty high. It's the highest of the 5 kits on my list at $71,021. I will have to say these kits are very complete compared to some of the other kits I've looked at. Little things like the firewall, fire foam, the autopilot mounts. They include little tubes of Loctite. I mean, it's very complete. As having just built a Sling TSI, I was pretty impressed with how they package everything and how inclusive the kits were of every little thing you would need. You can look this over and see a lot of these items that are listed out are extras from all the other manufacturers. Now, of course, you're paying a lot extra for this kit compared to some of the others that are $20,000, $30,000 less. But that's part of the equation that you have to factor in as to what exactly you're getting when you price out all the options and everything you'll need to complete the kit the way you want. So this is a full spec sheet for the Sling 2. And a couple of things I wanted to mention. One is you can put a parachute in this aircraft, and it adds a good bit of weight. And that's going to affect this empty weight that you see here. Now, if you've got max gross at 1540, but you put a parachute in and you load it up with Avionics, the empty weight is going to be a lot closer to 900, which is going to drop your useful load quite a bit. Other than that, I also think that the cockpit width, I've read more online that it's 44 inches and not 46, but even at 44, it's still a pretty roomy little plane. This is the price list for the engine options and a few other items. So the Rotax 912 ULS, the carbureted version, is $35,993, which includes the prop, the spinner, the firewall forward, and fuel kit. Now, those are split up differently. When you look at different kits from these different companies, trying to figure out the cost of the prop and the firewall forward and the fuel lines and all that is sometimes you got to really work to get that all put together in a price. But from Sling, it's $35,993. The fuel injected 912 engine, $43,888. The 914 turbo engine with the firewall forward fuel kit and then a constant speed Airmaster prop, it bumps up to $57,000. Now, of course, that also gives you a 20-ish pound weight penalty for that constant speed prop. If you get the parachute, it's going to be $8,900. Toe brakes in lieu of the handbrake that's normally their standard. And then, of course, you can get long-range tanks and a leather upholstery kit for the interior for more money. So the instruction build manuals from Sling are really good. The later versions where they've updated it, they're multicolors. They have all the parts listed out, and the diagrams are really, really helpful. Like any kit, there's a few things that are hard to discern, but I was pretty impressed with the instructions for my TSI. Now, the Sling 2 is an older kit, and they do have pages of the original designs that are still one color, and they're a little less easy to read, but still pretty good compared to some of the kits I've looked at the instructions for. So Sling estimates you can build the Sling 2 from a flat pack in 1,200 hours. If you spring the extra money for the quick build, that shaves 400 hours off your total build time. Now that's in line with the Sonex High Wing was 1,000 hours was their estimate. And of course they've only built one. So you kind of got to wait until they've built a few more to really know if that's an accurate number. The kits from Zenith and some of the other ones were a lot less. So I think this is a little more complex of a plane, a lot of curves, a lot of complex parts. There's almost nothing that's just flat. So it does cost you a little more time and complexity of the build. So in summary, going over the factors that I'm using to sort of make my decision, the Sling 2, the cost is on the high side of the list of the 5 planes. The delivery time is probably right in the middle, if not a little ahead of Sonex. It's way behind Zenith, which I hear is a month to 6 weeks out for some of their kits. Useful load is probably on the high side because they've tested this plane to 1540. That gives you a little extra weight that you can use, certainly over the Van's RV12, which would be much lower. The build time, I think, is probably going to be on the high side. The Sonex advertises 1,000-hour build time. This is 1,200 hours advertised build time. So we'll say it's probably on the higher side of the kits. I think the Zenith is 400 to 600 hours. The engine choices, they're all Rotax, which is what I'd like to kind of use as a standardized choice for my comparison. All the planes will accept a Rotax 912 on my list. So that's a very comparable choice, and it has a comparable pricing for all 5 kits there. So it's going to be a hard decision, but I thought this was a good kind of go through my choices and see what my options are.